Hello YouTube, my name's Marie. Today let's have a nice little gush about the first 6 episodes of Itaewon Class, a Netflix original K-drama. The show is fantastic in absolutely every way that I actually found it so difficult to put my thoughts and gut feelings into words. Like, this is probably the hardest review I've ever done, just because the more I think about it, the more my brain just gets overloaded with everything that I love about it. I like this show so much, I've watched everything that's available twice. I never, ever, ever watch a currently airing show twice. That's so unlike me. I came pretty close with Search WWW, like pretty close. I had the urge to go back and rewatch all the episodes again, but I didn't do it. But I did it with Itaewon Class. Like, that's how good this show is. I watched it once by myself, you know, because I always watch K-dramas by myself. And then I spent the day with my parents, and, you know, we talk a lot about, like, the movies and shows that we're watching, and I mentioned how much I'm loving Itaewon Class. And they were both like, why don't we just put it on? Let's just watch an episode. And they really like it. Even my parents like Itaewon Class, and they don't watch K-dramas. And so I asked them after those first 2 episodes that we watched together for the second time, I was like, what did you guys think? And my dad's like, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. I'm just a bit tired from reading subtitles. And I'm like, that's fair. Like, it's a skill. You gotta hone in your subtitle reading ability. Like, I do it so naturally now. Like, it's such second nature for me that when I watch an English show, my brain and my eyes, like, they have a spasm. Like, they freak out and, like, look all over the screen, just, like, naturally looking for the subtitles. Anyways, and then I look at my mom and I'm like, what did you think? And she's like, can we watch another episode? Converted. So first, the synopsis. Even though this series has a very large and lovable cast, the true lead, like the true protagonist of Itaewon Class, is Park Seo-joon. And when the show begins, we start off with him as a normal high school student. Be that he's a bit socially awkward. He prefers to keep to himself, he is not concerned about having a lot of friends, and he really just doesn't care what a lot of people think about him. And even at this very young age, Park Seo-joon has a strong set of moral values, and he can't help himself but intervene when he sees a classmate getting bullied. The situation escalates really quickly, and Seo-joon ends up punching the bullier right in the face, like good and hard in the face. And this moment, this interaction is really the catalyst to a lot of hardships that Park Seo-joon would face going forward, as the bully is the son of an extremely affluent company, and also a company which Park Seo-joon's dad works for. Skip forward about 15 years and Park Seo-joon is now only a middle school graduate. He was expelled from high school after that incident, and he went to prison. He's now an ex-convict, and he's also an orphan now. But he has a plan, and this plan begins with a little pub in Itaewon. Before diving into characters and actors and things like that, I do want to talk a little bit about the pacing, because having watched all 6 episodes twice, I do notice a shift between the first 2 episodes and episodes 3 and 6. So the first 2 episodes are set in the past, while Seo-joon is still a high school student. These episodes are really filled with emotion. Like, the music is so emotional and the color grading is so artful. Like, this is a really beautiful show to watch. I was actually trying to pick some of my favorite moments from these first 2 episodes, and it's impossible, because every single scene is a favorite moment. Every single scene within these first 2 episodes, and going forward, but right now I'm talking about the first 2 episodes, every single scene is vital to character introduction and is full of impact. Lessons are being learned right away. That's something that really shocked me about the show. You know, sometimes it takes a while for a show to find its groove, and they often save like really powerful themes and messages to like later on in the series. Like first it's like, here are the characters, and then later it's like plot, and then later it's like themes and lessons. This is like all in one. Like you get everything from first 2 episodes, and it feels really fresh and quick. Like I got invested in Seo-joon's life, in every aspect of his life, from his dad to his first love to his dreams. Like I got so invested so quickly, and I think it had to do with the fact that they were tackling issues quickly. Like the script isn't wasting any time, and it's simple yet very powerful. I was crying quiet little tears in the very first episode. If you've watched it, you'll know there's a scene where Park Seo-joon is in a bar with his dad, and the dad is teaching him how to drink, and they have this really, really strong, like impactful conversation about like how to live your life, and I was just like, oh. Oh. Then episode 3 comes around. Don't want anyone to misunderstand me and think that I didn't enjoy episodes 3 to 6 the way I enjoyed the first 2, because it's not the case. Like I equally loved everything, but there is a very different tone or narrative structure to episodes 3 to 6 because they're based in the present tense instead of the past. And those first 2 episodes kind of have like a nostalgic filter over everything. And episode 3 also opens with a different character, one that we haven't seen since the opening of the very first episode. So the series opens with our female lead, and her name is Jo Yisu, I think I'm saying that right. And so the series opens with her character, and then you don't see her again for those first 2 episodes. And then episode 3 and 4, I would say, is really her establishment. You learn a lot about her. She is a social media celebrity who feels very disenfranchised by life. More specifically, the life trajectory that everyone is expected to follow. You know what I'm talking about. The study hard, go to university, get an office job, get married, buy a house, work as hard as possible for as long as possible until you die. Bored and exhausted by that very concept, and she even fantasizes about the world simply ending so that she wouldn't have to live that routine. Because of this kind of like abrasive attitude, a lot of people think of her as a sociopath, but I love this character. I'm not saying I'd like to be her friend, because I don't know if she's the best friend, but I'm saying she makes for a very interesting female lead. She's a character I feel like you have to watch and experience for yourself to fully grasp how all of the pieces are just fitting so perfectly into place with her character. Like the actress is not only talking the talk, but walking the walk. Like the mannerisms that she does and her facial expressions, even her fashion, like the costume design, like everything about her is just fitting so perfectly to make this very believable character. She has this electric energy that perfectly balances our male lead, because Park Seo-joon has this quiet strength about him. So episode 3 starts with this different character, and it has a different energy. It's set in the present, so it's just going forward with episode 3. It's just a little bit different than the first 2. Not to say that you have to watch up until episode 3 to know if you're gonna like the show or not. I think if you don't like episode 1, you won't like the series, because it's so consistent with the quality of everything. So you don't have to watch very much to know whether or not this show is for you. Now let's talk about the male lead, and if you've been watching K-dramas for a while, I am sure you recognize him. He has been in fan favorites like Fight My Way and What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. An older one would be She Is Pretty. Like, he is a very well-known actor. But I wouldn't have called myself a fan of his work. I enjoy his work. A lot of the stuff in the past, I feel he slips in and out of character, so I'm always reminded that he's acting. This is his best work to date, in my opinion. I would say it's Itaewon Class and then Fight My Way. Like, he just keeps getting better and better and better. Initially, the character that he's playing, like the character of Park Seo-joon, reminded me of the type of character that, what is this actor's name? The actor that played in Come and Hug Me, Kill It, and Search WWW. I'll put his name and his picture right here. This character reminded me of a character that this actor would play, because this actor is like so good at portraying that like silent noble type. I really quickly just fell in love with what our actual leading guy was doing with the character. Like, his acting is so good here, I can't imagine anybody else in the role anymore. Like, this to me is a career-making role for him. His charisma is like tangible through the screen, which is so important because Seo-joon is a type of masculine energy that draws all the supporting characters to him. Like, the show emphasizes the fact that all of the supporting characters and, like, say the staff members of the little pub in Itaewon, Dambam, that's right, Dambam, they're all there because of him, and they're all like attracted to certain qualities with him. So the show really would have failed if the lead was not believable in that sense. And I truly believe these characters, all of them actually. I believe all of them. They feel like such real people. Like, I am lost within the world of Itaewon Class. Like, I am not reminded that this is a show ever. Speaking of supporting characters, each have their own unique background and motivations that make the show feel really diverse. Diverse and bright, and not diverse just in like the ethnicities idea, because this show also has a black character, which is really nice to see, but they also deal a little bit with like gender identity and maybe sexualities going forward. Like, it just feels like this show is going to be very diverse in the type of characters that you're going to get, which is very exciting. Like, it's not very often where I would describe a K-drama as diverse. And I won't really talk anything about these other side characters, because discovering them and discovering their stories, specifically how they know and are connected to our male lead, is a part of the show's appeal. Overall, Itaewon Class is fresh and exciting when so often K-dramas are comfortable sticking to the formula. If you can't tell, I'm really enjoying this show. I'm in love with this show. Every aspect. I highly suggest that you give it a chance. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you have seen this and we have different opinions, which is totally fine, say you've seen this and you didn't like it, really, like, I'd be very curious to know why you don't like it. So let me know down below, because in my mind, I don't understand why you wouldn't like this. Like, usually I'm very good at being able to see both the pros and the cons of a show. Like, if someone told me they loved a show, I'd be like, yeah, I can see why. And if someone told me they hated the same show, I'd be able to say, yeah, I know why. But with Itaewon Class, what's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you like this? Anyways, that is everything I have to talk about. Go watch the show. Go give it lots of love. It deserves it. It's so good. I hope everybody watches it and it becomes huge. Like, I hope that this show is the next really big thing. Like, it so deserves it. Have a good day and a good night. Bye.